Alrighty. Hello. Connection available. All right, guys, let me know when you are hopping on. Welcome. Hello. Happy New Year. We are going to go over just some business building tips of the day. This is actually something that has come to my mind that, over the last probably 10 years, I've been able to, I've spent some time just on personal development and growth and things like that. And there are a zillion books out there from everything, to taking care of yourself, personal health wise, mental health, business building, mama books, living a life with grace, literally my book stack is huge. I will say the majority of the time when I am able to travel across the country as far as for local events, on the plane I don't get Wi-Fi, I read. That's kind of just my time to be sure I'm filling my cup, because the more I fill my cup, it overflows into you guys, right? So let me see. Okay, Facebook is giving me a different notification that I've never seen before. So, you guys, if you would, please hit the share button, because that means any of your friends on Facebook that are in this group, they're going to get a notification that we are live over here. Obviously, these are always going to be recorded. And if you haven't noticed yet, we are uploading all of our videos here over to our Team Thrive Nation YouTube channel, because that is a great source of training for anyone. I know a lot of people are in a zillion other different groups because they have so many leaders at the top rank that have Facebook groups, so we don't want to overwhelm you guys too much, but the more info that you guys have, the better at times, right? And hopefully you can kind of start your own library of things that maybe are relevant to you that you would like to pass on to your newest promoters, right? So we'll try to keep this where most of this information is really for anyone, regardless of where you are in the business. If you've only been with us for a couple of weeks, or if you've been with us for 5 years, right? So one of the things that I thought I would pull out today is just a book from the past. I think I read this one probably in 2013 or so. I totally went through and put some pink little sticky notes here, just so I could go through here and easily access some of the things in it. So the whole philosophy behind this book, it's actually called The Slight Edge, is just those little things that successful people do on a daily basis that really at the time they don't seem like a whole lot, but when done consistently over time, they yield results, which totally takes us back to that whole 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 concept. Guys, if you don't know about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, when you finish watching the video, go to the top of the page, type in that on the search bar. You're going to pull up some information. Also, the link I posted yesterday has some info on that as well, with a new the first 90 days of the year tracker sheet that you guys will utilize, work on daily. It's about progress over perfection, and then submit those on Sunday nights for some drawings, right? So I'm just going to kind of go through this and share with you the things that I underlined or highlighted while I was reading these books. So I haven't gone back through, for this live today, I didn't go back through and read it again or find more things. These are things that I underlined a long time ago, or highlighted or starred or put a square around it. And again, this was back in 2013. All right, so one of the things I highlighted, there's a choice that you face every day, every hour. A simple positive action repeated over time. A simple error in judgment repeated over time. Okay, so think about that. So we can either completely focus on a simple positive action done over and over and over, or a simple error in judgment done over and over and over. And that's going to lead to our outcome, right? Let's see, action guaranteed to change your life. So this is a nice little fun tip. It says, because I know you guys are going, oh my God, Maria, like how many books have you read? I don't have time to do that. But what if you just read 10 pages of a good book every day? Just 10 pages, you don't have to read a book a month or, a book a week or, whatever. But what if it was just a few pages a day, right? And you guys can actually, if you want in here, I'm totally fine with you sharing some books that have kind of been of benefit to you in your business, right? The ones that you feel like, you know, they've helped you and maybe somebody else could take part of. Guys, also Audible is a huge thing. The year that I trained for those 2 half marathons that I ran, it was Audible all the time. And sometimes it was Building Me books. Sometimes it was just total mindless, like mom laugh books. But Audible is great. If you don't have a good pair of headphones, you need that. Like I should have told you guys to ask for that for Christmas, right? Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Progressive means success is a process, not a destination. So, you know, that's kind of something that I've talked about as far as, you know, you can't define your success by that one spot, right? Because, you know, really, what is it that allows us to hustle for joy? It's a process along the way, right? It's a journey that we take along the way. I kind of love those things. Successful people do whatever it takes to get the job done, whether or not they feel like it. They understand that it is not any one single push on the flywheel, but the cumulative total of all their sequential, unfailing, consistent pushes that eventually creates movement of such astonishing momentum in their lives. Okay, so this all goes back to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, doesn't it? Those simple daily tasks that we do every single day, all day long. I mentioned last night, it's not hard, right? We know what our hard is. Hard is, you know, floating rent. Hard is not having money to pay your bills. Hard is checking the bank account before you walk in the store. Hard is, we can't go do that because we don't have the money, right? But what's easy is those daily actions done consistently over time. I'm going to read it again. Successful people do whatever it takes to get the job done, whether or not they feel like it. They understand that it's not any one single push. There's not one single thing, guys, that's a magic wonder on here that's going to bring success in your business. But it's the cumulative total of all of their sequential, unfailing, consistent pushes, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, that creates movement of such astonishing momentum in their lives. Absolutely love that. Okay, success doesn't come out of nowhere. It cannot be conjured up out of thin air. I promise you, nothing about my success here has just come out of thin air. Nothing has fallen in my lap. Your 200K leaders, I promise you, it didn't just land in their lap. It's something that, you know, that was made available over time to them. You don't know the hours of work. You don't know the hours of relationship building. You don't know the decisions that they had to make to keep people's trust, you know. All of those things are a culmination of decisions that we've made along the way, right? That beginning is the thing that people miss, the thing that they don't see. And they don't see it because it's so tiny, it's almost inevitable. So see what it's saying? It comes from very small, tiny beginnings, but there has to be a beginning. And that's what we're so excited about as far as kicking off a new year. This is a beginning. This is, you know, the next 90 days of your life. There's a decision you get to make over and over and over to show up and implement, right? And be excited about what you found here because you have a solution to offer other people. Greatness is always in the moment of the decision. Guys, you feel there is something that happens inside you when you make that decision to go, when you make that decision to act. I love that you guys are taking some notes. Keep doing that. No success is immediate, okay? Nor is any failure instantaneous, which I taught to you guys last night. If you didn't see my live kickoff last night, please go back and watch that today or listen to it. You don't have to watch. But they are both products of those daily consistent actions, guys. Again, I've said you're not failing over here. You know, you don't fail over here unless you throw in the towel, and I'm probably going to throw it back at you, right? Because I believe in you. I believe in this product. I believe in this company. I believe in the stories, and I know that you do too, or you wouldn't be on here. You wouldn't have a passion to share this with other people. No success is immediate. Remember, daily consistent actions done consistently over time will get you towards your goal, but nor is any failure instantaneous, right? It's all about the actions, the daily commitment. All right, what did I mark here? Hold on. Oh, okay. So this is kind of funny. So I guess he was sharing a story about some lady named Carol, but it said, what Carol gave me was a philosophy, an attitude. And she basically said, you are not going to change how some people are. Some people are just cuckoo and there is no getting around it. But here's what you need to ask yourself. Am I going to let these people frame how I feel about myself? Because I'll tell you what, folks, those cuckoos are not going away, and they are going to do everything in their power to make you join them in your craziness, in their craziness. Do not listen to them. Okay, I love that. You know, people are people. Are we going to focus on what we can't change, or are we going to focus on what we can change? You know, who can we change? Us, right? If we are positive, our brains are more alert and engaged. They're free to create, which eventually leads to more productivity, happiness, and optimism. Actually fuel performance and achievement, giving us the competitive edge that I call the happiness advantage. Waiting to be happy limits our brain's potential for success. This is why it's so important that I've said to you guys, celebrate what this has done for you. Celebrate what is good about today because you started your Thrive experience. What is good today because you took your 3 steps, right? We're going to celebrate in that. We're not always going to be in the zone of, well, I'm pursuing happiness. No, let's be grateful for what we have now, right? Waiting to be happy limits our brain's potential for success, whereas cultivating positive brain makes us more motivated, efficient, resilient, creative, and productive, which drives performance upward. This discovery has been confirmed by thousands of scientific studies, and in my own work and research on 1,600 Harvard students and dozens of Fortune 500 companies worldwide. That is actually from an author, let's see, Sean Aker. He wrote The Happiness Advantage, spent 10 years studying the topic of happiness, and his research resulted in some very interesting observations, is what it says. So see, what it's saying is, you know, you've got to be in that zone of, celebrating where you are today, you know, celebrating what this has done for you today and offering that solution. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to hop on through here. Desire is what gets you up early and keeps you up late. How many of you were on the call with Jason Camper where you talked about, you know, what they say the 2 main things for change is desire or disgust. You know, it's either a desire for something that you desire. I just said that. A desire for something that you desperately want for your family, or it's that disgust. It is, I am over laying in bed at night worried about how I'm going to pay off my college by the time my kid goes to school. It's that disgust of, I'm sick and tired of not having enough money in the bank. I'm sick and tired of not being able to pay my bills. I am sick and tired of the rat race and not being able to spend my days doing what I love. Or it's that desire, you know, I'm happy where I am, but I have this desire to create some more options to maybe alleviate some financial stresses. I have this desire to take my family on a family vacation this summer. I have a desire, you know, to help out, you know, some people in my community. I have a desire. What is it that drives you? That's what I'm saying, guys. You know, that whole hustle for joy is, what is it that just puts that fire in your belly? And remember, it takes consistent daily actions to achieve those things. Successful people do little things that seem to make no difference at all when they're doing them. But doing them over and over and over again, consistently and persistently with a good attitude over a long period over time is what it's all about. What are you guys hearing about this, guys? Consistency. And I know that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 sounds so freaking simple, but you know what? That is what creates the relationships to get to know people, to know the solution, to then gain their trust, right? To create the free account, to follow up, to provide validation so they start their own experience. Are they starting as a promoter or a customer? I don't know what's best for them. You know, it all starts there, but these are the daily consistencies that are required over time. And this is in Maria's word. This is like universal truths, right? You cannot change the past, but you can change the future. And wouldn't you rather be influenced by something would you rather, oh, this is a question, sorry, hang on. Would you rather be influenced by something you can't or by something you can. So past is past, right? We're going to focus on the future because that is what we can change, and that's what we're excited about. Okay, let's look at this. All right, you're either improving or diminishing in personal and professional value. Your relationships are growing deeper and richer or growing more stale and distant. You are learning more and more about the truths of life, or you're slipping deeper and deeper into denial about the truths of life. You are building your long-term security and financial freedom, or you're dismantling it. And your health is building day by day or ebbing slowly away. Wow, those are some profound statements, aren't they? We're either growing or we're slipping. You know what I mean? Like very seldom, I mean, if you just kind of stay in, you're really just going this way. You know, you guys remember when I talked to you guys about an option in motion stays in motion, but an object at rest stays at rest until there's some sort of force, right? You're growing when you're moving, right? So we're encouraging you guys, 2019, let's really move. This is a Napoleon Hill statement from Think and Grow Rich. There is one quality which one must possess to win, and that is definitiveness of purpose, the knowledge of what one wants, and the burning desire to possess it. Again, we don't define success by a dollar amount around here. We don't define success around here by the size of your home, the car that you drive. You define your own success, but you have to know that you have to be cued in on the purpose. What is the why? And you have to know that there's actions that are to be taken to lead you in that direction. Ooh, I love this one. Okay, all truth passes through 3 stages. And you know, I find that this like so relates to our businesses, right? Because, and this is kind of how it works, you know, first it's ridiculed, okay? Secondly, it's violently opposed. Wow. And third, it's accepted as being self-evident. You know, these are kind of the stages we go through as thrivers, right? Like, when Tony first reached out to me, like, I was like, whatever. I mean, I didn't completely ridicule, but let's face it, I was super skeptical of what she had out there, right? I didn't violently oppose, right? I just was kind of like, that's crazy. But how many of us have had people in this journey that legit, they violently opposed what we were doing? They had a hard time with the fact that we were thriving, much less the hard time that they had with the fact that we were building a business with this thing, right? It's like they ridicule or they violently oppose, and then all of a sudden it's like, dude, like this is accepted because it is self-evident. Like, I've watched this person's life change. I've watched her drive this car for 5 years, obviously, that this is, you know, the company's paying for. I've watched all these people post on her Facebook page all this time and all these stories. Guys, see, everyone goes through those different stages, you know, and typically it's a lot of it's when it's accepted as being self-evident is when they finally just say, holy moly, okay, I'll start this experience to prove you wrong, and then they fall in love, right? I love those things. All right, let's see. Steady wins the race. That is the truth of it. I mean, like that, like seriously, that's like in bold letters, just those 2 sentences, short sentences. Steady wins the race. That's the truth of it. Guys, we know this stuff, right? So what is it that's that fire in our belly that allows us to run for this? Be not afraid of going slowly. Be afraid of only standing still. That's a Chinese proverb. Then give credit to the exact person that said that. Be not afraid of going slowly, but be afraid of only staying still. All right, here's a good one. Your personal development has to be a contact sport where you are in contact with others that can help you on your journey. Okay, contact sport is everything that we do here, guys. Your personal development requires you to be in contact with things that will develop you. What is it? Is it a book? Is it listening to our YouTube channel and Team Thrive Nation? Is it a podcast that you love? Is it an Audible? You know, what is it? Make that commitment to put into yourself. You're going to make contact, y'all, with the things that will help you grow, right? Whatever Oh, whatever goals you aspire to, just seek out people who have achieved the same or very similar goals and who are well along that path, and go camp on their doorsteps or whatever you can do to associate with them, emulate them, and let their grasp, understand the mastery of the subject rub off on you. I'm going to tell you guys, when I started in this journey, Paul and Jason were my mentors from day one. Did I get to have daily contact with them? No. Could I go sit on their doorstep? No. That's totally stalkerish. But I could listen to what they had to say. Every single call I was on. Every single post I would read. Every single company update, that's what I was reading, and that's what I was doing. And when Paul said do it, I just did it. When he said go get 100 free accounts in your first 30 days, I thought that was the stupidest thing I'd ever heard of, because I was out there trying to get orders. I was trying to get people started on their Thrive experience. Let's create some stories. And he's like, Maria, it's going to bite you in the butt if you don't. Go do it. And I said, okay, I'm going to do it, because the man knows what he's doing. Birds of a feather flock together, guys. Who is in the zone that you see daily, putting in the time, putting in the work? And I'm going to say this, guys, I'm putting out a lot for you guys, and I have for 5 years. I mean, Zooms have evolved, so now we're using Zooms. I didn't have a YouTube channel for a couple of years, but by God, we got one, and we have tons of information out there for you to plug into. You have to make the decision to plug into it, okay? You have to take the initiative to make sure your teams know about it, right? This is important, that you look at who is where you want to be and what are they doing to get there, right? Well, this girl, she's sharing the Thrive experience. She's excited about the Thrive experience. She's continuously inviting people to thrive with her. That's what it takes, and staying in the zone. Let's see, leadership is not something you do. It's something that grows organically out of a natural rhythm of learning. We're always learning. We're always growing. But when you are doing, you are leading. If you are not doing, you are not a leader, guys. Leadership requires doing. It requires action. Oh, I love this. Okay, so when you start at the beginning of anything, you're at the highest level of anxiety. I mean, think about that. Anything new can kind of create just some craziness. As you learn, though, through study and doing, information and experience, book smarts and street smarts, you gradually lower your level of anxiety by raising your level of mastery. See, the more you do, the more confidence you have. I mean, that's why people say, Maria, why are you so confident? Well, holy crap, y'all, I've been doing this for 5 years. I've been starting my day every morning with the Thrive experience for 5 years. Yes, I love it. I see it in work every single day. For 5 years, I've had stories of people that were not thriving and started thriving, and they are absolutely loving it. I have seen stories for 5 years of lives changed and transformed. I've seen stories for 5 years of how this business was utilized as a vehicle to help people achieve their dreams and their goals and change their whole family situation. So yes, see, in doing that, confidence grows. Did I have to borrow some confidence from other people when I started? You better believe it. But that's why we are a team. That's why we work together. That's why we encourage you to put your newest prospect into a group chat or on a 3-way call with someone that is doing this business every single day, with someone that loves their Thrive experience and will not go a day without it, right? Because that's how you borrow the confidence of someone, right? But the more you do, the more familiar it becomes, and the more, you kind of master it, so your anxiety decreases. So it's okay if you're a nervous wreck about doing your first Facebook Live. It's okay if you're a nervous wreck about picking up the phone. It's okay if you're a nervous wreck about putting that prospect in a 3-way chat. That's okay. It'll get easier every time. And then some days your soul's going to be on fire and you're still going to break a sweat. That's passion. That's okay. All right, for a goal to come true, you've got to write it down, make it specific, give it a deadline. Here's the deal. There's going to be some goals you don't hit by the deadline, but who cares as long as you're working towards the goal, right? You must have a plan. You must understand and pay the price. You must look at it every day. For me, I feel like the biggest thing that we probably give up, to become to become an entrepreneur and to build a business via social media is we give up television, right? To me, that's not a big thing. I kind of joked about this years ago. I said, when I found out I could make money, through the computer, that's when I quit watching television. I don't know. You guys can kind of tell me some other things you feel like you've got to give up. But, I think that's the biggest one if we're being really, really honest, and giving up just the mindlessness of social media versus being intentional, right? Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Keep holding that as your philosophy, and you'll generate the attitudes and actions you need to keep progressively realizing a better and better plan. You have to start with a philosophy that will take you, with the right philosophy, you'll find the plan. This is more, whatever the dream, whatever the goal, there's a price you need to pay, and that means giving something up. So kind of talk about the things that you've got to give up, and that changes throughout your business, when you've got team calls at night, when I first started, I gave up bath time with the kids. Ralph took care of that. The twins are only 3, so they still needed help with their bath. Now they're fully capable of bathing themselves. On Wednesday night, my team called. That's what I was doing. Ralph was helping out with that. But that was a short period of time. And see, little things like, and some of you may be like, no, there's no way I'm giving up bath time. You don't have to, I'm just saying sometimes you make short-term sacrifices now for what you want later, but it's okay when you have that goal in mind of what you're going for, and the meaning is attached to it. I like this. You need to counteract the force of gravity, or to put a different name to it, the force of mediocrity. I don't want to be mediocre, guys. I don't want to just go through the motions. I want to live out loud. I want to model that for my kids. When you set your goals, life is a way of rearranging itself. A series of events starts in motion that you could never have predicted or planned to get you there. If you just sit there trying to figure it out, it doesn't happen. You've got to surround yourself with your goals. Okay, vision board. Your subconscious brain will go to work on it. And if you have that right meaning, philosophy, like that right, if you're tuned in to what it is that you desire, then you'll come up with the right actions and keep repeating those actions just over and over and over again. And then that series of events is going to kick in, including circumstances that you could have never dreamed of, and it's going to take you to that goal. Guys, this is again what we say, things don't just fall out of midair, It's a goal, it's a journey, it's an excitement, it's a, I don't know, I can't figure it all out, but I'm just going to run. I'm just going to start this action. I'm going to borrow somebody's confidence. I'm going to run with my own confidence. I'm going to run with ignorance on fire, right? And then just continue to grow. And when you do that, there's these series of events that happen. And that's why we say consistent action over time. It just keeps that fire in your belly growing. And your excitement and your energy and your confidence, guys, it just becomes contagious. And they say, I want what she has. We know this. Whatever you can do or dream, you can begin it. Boldness, it has a genius power and a magic in it. You will become as small as your controlling desire, or as great as your dominant aspiration. I choose as great as that dominant aspiration. Your income will never long exceed your own level of personal development. I know I didn't put personal development on that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, guys, but truly in 2019, I don't care if it's 10 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day, you have to take care of you. The more you fill your cup, it just fills and fills and fills, and it overflows, right? It is so important for us to take care of us, but the more we grow and develop, the more that whole hustling for joy, it just, I don't know, that growth and development, guys, it teaches us to be grateful for what we have. It allows us to be in that mindset of gratitude. It allows us to really take to heart, what it is that is happening that is so good in our lives. And what we know, that what we think about, we bring about. We know that what we speak about, we bring about, right? And staying in tune to those things that bring us joy. If we can hustle towards that, what does that hustle entail? It entails that daily commitment owning where we are, right? Owning it. You know, that commitment to ourselves, to our families, to our goals. It's not the commitment to your upline, down, whatever. It is the commitment that you've made to you and your family. It is, you know, just that putting things into action, because action yields results. It does. Productivity results, you know, empowerment, stories, celebrations. That's what it's all about here. So I just wanted to kind of get on here today. You guys let me know about this feedback. Let me know what you think. I have a whole slew of things that I've gone through. Like I said, probably over the last 10 years, probably 10 years ago is probably when I started just kind of diving into things as far as personal growth and development. You know, so I could probably pull out some books and share those things with you guys, but take them to heart. Make sure that your teams know about these things. Also, if you have not watched our live kickoff to last night, please go watch that right now, or as soon as you can. You guys have already spent some time with me here. Watch that as soon as you can. Tag your teams. Make sure they've seen it. It is on the Thrive Nation YouTube channel. Also, there is a link to our latest promotions, which include the 54321, where you'll a new link to submit that on Sunday nights as we go into the next 90 days. We closed out 2018 with the last 90 days. We are launching the next 90 days, the first 90 days of a new year, right? New beginning. Hustling for joy. And our team-wide Lives and Locals promotion. Now, quick clarification on that. If you're doing a live and you're talking about your Thrive experience, that counts as a point. If you're doing a live and you bring someone else on to share their Thrive experience story, that's a point for you, a point for your friend that shared, okay? Anything live involves points. Okay, if you attend a local event or host a local event, and local events can be at a lunchtime, it can be a Thrive After 5. As long as there are bodies together in a room sharing Thrive experience stories, that's what earns you 5 points. You team up. We have teams of 4, so you guys can hold each other accountable, kind of work together, make sure those stories are getting shared. What's the whole point behind Lives and Locals in the month of January? It's exposure to the experience. It is what moves the needle here with Lavelle and in your business, and it also brings you a heck of a lot of joy because you get to celebrate with those new stories. So that's what we're going to focus on. Lives and Local, it is on the link too. So do some searches. If you don't know about 54321, go to the top of the page, type in 5-4-3-2-1. There's a live I did on that. There's a link to the explanation of 54321. There's a PDF that helps you track your 54321. I mean, we've got all kinds of stuff in here. So thank you guys so much. We're going to wrap it up with our business tips of the day. Bye, guys.